Character name, Tobduk, the Master Assassin. Originally debuted July 2011. Overall look and changes. Tobduk is an interesting case among my MOCs, as he is one of the few canon Order of Motunui members to have an official build. The original MOC was designed by BZ Power member Artaka, and I did my best to replicate the look of his original design while making an entirely custom torso and revamped limbs. My version of Tobduk was originally built as an entry to the first round of the 2011 BioCup on MOC pages, and he successfully got me into round 2. Here's a comparison of how far Tobduk has come since its initial release. Character bio. Titles and occupations. Tobduk was once a resident of the island of Vizorak until Makuta Kirox arrived and unleashed his creations, the Vizorak species, on Tobduk's village. Only Tobduk and a few others managed to escape, and he was later hired by the Order of Motunui. The Order gave him the name Tobduk, which is the Matoran word for survivor. Tobduk worked for the Order for many years, growing more skilled in combat each day. One day, the being known as Artaka requested that the Order destroy any evidence of the whereabouts of his island. Because of Tobduk's skills, Helrix placed him in charge of the operation. Tobduk expertly arranged and executed the assassinations of every target, including several members of the Order of Motunui. Shortly after, the Order was sectionalized into specialized divisions, and Tobduk's outstanding performance in this operation convinced Helrix to make him the master of the newly founded Assassin Division of the Order. Tobduk has since become one of Helrix's most trusted division masters and advisors, and Helrix has even been known to leave Tobduk in charge of the Order in her absence. Tobduk now spends most of his time training new assassins and streamlining his division's performance. In recent history, he discovered an armor-dissolving virus specifically designed to kill Makuta. He shared this discovery with the Order's other divisions to help with the war against the Brotherhood of Makuta. Personality. Tobduk is a strong, highly intelligent, and commanding leader, but he's been somewhat irritable ever since Makuta Kirox's attack on his village. He holds an unwavering resentment of the Makuta species, and would love to wipe them out if he had the chance. Even so, he takes his position in the Order seriously, and is extremely loyal to Helrix. Due to the Order's sectionalization, and the policy change on recruiting Toa, the Order has never been more powerful, and therefore, Tobduk is no longer required to depart on many missions of his own. His recent foray into developing the armor-dissolving virus has given Tobduk the chance to increase his knowledge on more scientific studies, and he is now typically seen conducting his own research in the Order's massive library. Abilities and powers. As Tobduk is not a member of the Matoran species, he possesses no elemental powers, though he has the power to become stronger by absorbing an opponent's or his own anger. The angrier he or his foes become, the more powerful he gets. Because of his resentment of the Makuta and the attack on his village during his past, Tobduk is always in a quiet, perpetual rage. As with all Order members, his mind is shielded from any kind of mental attack. Important possessions. Tobduk carries twin daggers and a staff fashioned in the shape of a Doom Viper's head at its top. The staff can blast white-hot energy through a crystal aperture on one end. After a group of Order spies returned from a mission on Luna Magna, Tobduk was given a large amount of expended moonlight energy crystals. Tobduk was fascinated by the crystals' ability to store elemental energy and began to study them. He was able to figure out how to store different types of elemental energy in the crystals, and modified his staff to be able to mechanically swap the crystal aperture with the elemental crystals. This allows his staff to fire blasts of any type of elemental energy if he has the right crystal for it. Tobduk wears a Kanohi Sanok, the Great Mask of Accuracy. MOC analysis. Inspiration and theme. Obviously, my version of Tobduk is based off the Tobduk from Bionicle canon, and the original MOC made to represent him, though I've taken a few liberties with his backstory and personality to add even more to his character. Like with all my MOCs, I've chosen a Toho character's theme to use as Tobduk's theme. This time, it's Patchouli Knowledge's theme, Locked Girl, the Girl's Secret Room. Tobduk's version of this theme is a rock/orchestral remix performed by TAMUSIC. MOC Features. Tobduk has connection points on his hands to allow him to hold his weapons. He also has connection points on his upper legs to store his daggers when not in use. Tobduk stands 12.5 inches tall and 5 inches wide. MOC Articulation. Tobduk has 24 points of articulation overall. He has full ankle mobility, a 90-degree knee bend, full hip articulation with armor that moves out of the way, a decent flex in the torso, full head articulation, double-jointed shoulder articulation, a slightly less than 45-degree elbow bend, and full wrist and figure articulation. Interesting building techniques. The addition of these Bowrock gear pieces in the torso is by far my favorite part of the torso build, and I love the way the tube routes from in between them and the Yonica chestplate. Tobduk's staff also has a lot of system crammed inside of it for the elemental crystal aspect. There's also 2 silver system tooth pieces to give the Rakshi head some fangs. Notable flaws. Like any tall MOC, you must be very careful when posing Tobduk so he doesn't fall over. His ankles lack any kind of friction addition or double joint, so they tend to be the biggest failing point for balance. His arms also have a similar issue, sometimes falling out of place due to their own weight. Fun facts. Although heavily revamped since his release, Tobduk still uses the same torso build from his first version, just with an entire layer of extra armor covering it. Tobduk is currently my tallest MOC, standing even taller than the Master. Overall thoughts and criticisms. Overall, Tobduk is one of my best MOCs. His colors and design are super easy to work with, and I love the way it looks as well. He's by far my best Titan-sized MOC, and he seems to get better every time I tinker with him. Safe to say, this won't be the last version of Tobduk, so keep an eye out for regular improvements to this killer Titan. What would you rate this MOC out of 10? Any questions about the build or the character? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching.